Hello, you're welcome to my channel. If this is your first time of coming across our videos, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. We learn how to make clothes, DIY for clothes, and just sewing tutorials. So today we're going to be learning how to make this Senate dress you're seeing, and this is for a client. You can see it on her. Do where to use our handles, reach us, and ask questions. This is the fabric I used. I don't know the name of the fabric. I think it came in 5 yards in trouser length. I think so. I've already made a trouser for it. You can see I cut part of it to make the trouser. So now we're going to make the top. This tutorial is based solely on the upper part of the dress, which is the female senate wear. Okay, I folded the fabric into four, into two, and into two. Like we have two pieces into two, and the first length for the front panel is 30. Then 31, I think so, 30 or 31. Then the back is like 3 inch longer than the front. Okay, so that's how you're going to cut it. You fold the front separately, you iron, and you fold the back separately. So now I'm just going to cut out to give me a straight line to work on. We're working on the front panel first. So now I'm going to put my tape in the neckline, and the neckline I did 2.5 for the width and the depth 3. Okay, the depth is 3, the width is 2.5. So I'm just going to mark across like so as you see me do, then make the necessary connections that I need for it. Like I said the length of the front is shorter than the back, right? So when you're doing this measurement first, some of the measurement, just watch what I did. You're going to move, make sure the upper part is firstly equal, then and do the measurements you need, then before we now adjust. So now I am going to mark my shoulder depth. My shoulder measurement is 7.5, but because I'm cutting directly on the fabric, I did 8. So that includes sewing allowance I need for it. Then the depth of the shoulder is 7 point, I think 7.7 or 7.5. Okay, so I'm just going to mark my shoulder measurement across and impute them like so. Define the lines. Please make sure do where to use your measurement. I always say it in my video. It's just a tutorial. We don't have the same measurement. Okay, so for the shoulder slope, I'm going to do 2.5 for the shoulder slope. Okay, 2.5. I'm going to connect it back like so. I know, don't worry, just follow the steps the way I'm doing it, you will understand it. So now I am going to mark my body measurement. I will mark the chest measurement. My chest divided by 4. What I have is what I will use. So you go ahead and mark your body measurement. Divide your body measurement by 4 and impute the measurement you get there. So for the chest, that's me imputing the chest measurement, and I added 2-inch sewing allowance. If necessary, you add 2-inch sewing allowance. Okay, for this, if you're making a dress like this, because it's not going to have a body zip, so the reason I added 2-inch sewing allowance is because I need 1 inch for ease, 1 for sewing. Okay, so for the waist, you measure from the shoulder from the baseline, upper baseline to your, you find your waist measurement there and divide by 4, you impute. Then add 2-inch sewing allowance. Then you go to the base of the dress and you add your hip allowance. The actual measurement for this dress is the top, sorry, it's not a dress, the top is 28, but you see I used 31, right? By the end of the day, when I'm done sewing the shoulders and everything, and the folding for the down, I will still have my 28. Okay, so you go to the baseline there, you impute your hip measurement, and you divide it by, you add your 2-inch sewing allowance. How I got the measurement I'm working with, you can see I didn't waste fabric. I divided my hip by 4. Whatever I have, I added 2-inch sewing allowance or 3-inch sewing allowance. So that gave me accurate measurement that I need so that I wouldn't waste fabric. Okay, so that's why you can see I'm not wasting fabric in this place. So now we're going to cut the shoulder slope. You're going to cut the front and the shoulder slope together. Remember, you're going to, the upper part first has to be equal. So you see I've cut the front one first, so I'm cutting the second one. You can cut it together. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it like that. Okay, now that I've done this, now I will cut out my neck depth. Sorry, I'm going to go up by 3 inch, and from my shoulder, sorry, my armhole, and come in again from that 3 inch I went up. I'll come in from that mark I made. I'll come in by 0.5 or 0.7, depending on your bust size. Then you contour. Okay, so I've done that. So you go ahead and do your. So now for the front, I want to draw the front now to meet the back length, okay? Because we're going to work on the shoulder side. So now I'm going to secure it with a pin so that I will have a even, this fabric is I don't know if I'll call it sticky or something. It doesn't really stay. So I needed it stable. So now that I'm done securing it, I have to cut out the front neckline, only the front neckline. Okay, I've done that. So you can see what I did. It's, sorry, the camera didn't, sometimes you place your camera and you think your capture is capturing everything, you find that it's not. Anyway, so now you're just going to fold this leftover from, when you drag it down to meet the one down, there will be excess, right? So you're going to fold that excess to meet the one. It's going to lay on this one like this. Just watch what I'm doing here. I don't even need to talk. You need your eyes to do the work first very well, because the talking will not give you actually all the things you need to get. So you need to watch it very well and follow what I'm doing. So now I'm just going to press with iron like so. This part needs ironing. You need light for this part, okay? So now that I've done that, I'm going to extend my measurements to the upper part. Okay, now we're doing the back neck measurement. You see me taking my measurement back to the tip there. So you're going to measure your back depth. My back depth is 1. You can do 1.5 if you want, but 1 is okay. Then 2.5. Reason is that if you're working with a C-knit neckline, it's better you build up your measurement. Like, you don't cut it all fully. When you work and you see that it's not giving you what you want, you now adjust it. Okay, so you see, if you take the shoulder measurement like that for the back, it's not going to align to the main line, but you need to go out again from that measurement. You need to go out like with 0.5. If you're cutting it directly on your fabric, you will notice what I'm saying. The line is not straight. If you put it like that, you will not have. So if you cut it, look like it has a slant, but it's not. It's just perfect when you cut it. Just when you get to that point, you will notice it. When you place this and you take the measurement, you will notice it. So now I'm just going to cut out the neck like so. I'll cut out the neck. So now look at what I am doing. This neck, if you cut the back neckline, you see that it's not lapping directly to the front neckline, right? The trick now is for you to have a even shape, a round good shape. You will need to cut it. It has to be on top of that one. So if necessary, you want to do an adjustment, you adjust, hold your fabric very well. See what I am doing. So now that I've done this, I will now be able to get what I want. So now I am going to use my scissors to make sure it follows the line. You see, you can see, but make sure not to cut too deep. Okay, so now this is what I have. It has not aligned as it should. For the shoulder, you see the way I made my scissors. It's not straight. It's looking like slant kind of. You can see it like that. Yeah. So now I'm cutting out the back one first. So now that I'm done cutting the back, I will still make all the necessary adjustments I need. You just see, your eye will tell you when something is wrong. Just make sure the back falls on exactly on the neck of the front. Okay, that's it. So we've done that. I am going to cut out the side measurement, that's marking that I did. So this is it for the whole body. So now for the front, I'm going to do my front deepening. You know, the front deepening and the back deepening is not the same. So I'm just going to cut that out. So I'm just checking my measurement if it's accurate. You can see I have the 31 or 30 that I intended to use for the full body workout. So I'll still checking the neck if it's really aligned. So this is what we have. This is how you cut it. We're done for the front now. Now let's move to cut our sleeve. So as usual, you're going to fold your fabric into 4, into 2, then fold again, which will give you 4. So I'm just going to define my baseline like so and cut it out because I need a straight surface to work with. Okay, so that will serve as my baseline. Now I can take my measurement. I'm going to measure my armhole. This is how I do my armhole cut sleeve. I took my armhole measurement and it is 8, right? I now I added 2-inch sewing allowance that I did. That's how I cut it. I don't know. That's how it works for me. Then I went down to take the full length. The full length is 12. Then I will add 2.5 or 3-inch. No, I added 3-inch hemming allowance for the base of the armhole. So I did 3 inches. I'm going to mark it across as seam. And if you watch up to this point, please kindly like our video, share and leave a comment. That's the best thing you can do for a content creator. You help when you engage in our video, it pushes it more. Thank you very much. So now I'm going to divide my measurement into 2. That's for the armhole side. Then this place, ignore that part. It's not necessary. So where I was supposed to divide was here to that place. Now I went down by 4. Okay. I went down by 4. So that middle point I divided, I'm going to connect it to the 4 that I went down by. So what I'm supposed to divide is this 4 that met the middle that I divided, and I will divide it into 2. Okay. Then I didn't do that. So I will come up to the one in front, I will do 0.5, then the one in the down, I will do 0.5 and 0.2 or 0.3 and just connect like so to give it that cover shape. You can just eyeball it. Usually I don't like showing how I cut my sleeve because I freestyle my sleeves. Okay. So now I'm going to measure my bicep, the bicep or the circumference of where the sleeve is going to stop. Yeah, I'll measure it, then I add my 2-inch sewing allowance. You use your measurement, please. I always say that. Then I'll connect it back to this place like so and cut out. I always prefer sleeve to have excess than shortage. Okay, if you don't know how to go about it, always make it excess. When you are done fixing it and you see it's much, you can just trim out and weave them before you proceed to sew your dress. But you know, some dress like suits and all that, your measurement has to be accurate. Okay, so now I'm just going to notch like so the middle point, and this is what we have for the sleeve. So now we're going to cut out the piping of the neckline. Okay, this was cut in bias form. You need it in bias form so that it will stretch. I lost the video. I thought I was videoing my camera was not recording when I was doing it, so sorry about that. But it has to be in bias form. So now I'm taking out what I need. I need 3 inches. So I'm doing the 3 inch. I'm doing 1.5 is on fold, 1.5, 1.5, which is going to give me 3 inches when I open it. Okay. At the end of the day, what I'm looking for is actually 0.5 or 0.7, maximum 0.7. Okay, but you need more to fold so you have the grip you want and you have that solidness you want. If you have seen male shirts, you see how it's done, right? So now I'm just going to iron and iron first, like so. So I'll just iron like so first. If you find this video helpful, please kindly share and leave us a comment. And I would love to see if you make this and the outcome, like you send us a picture with our using our handles. That would be very great too. At least so we know that yes, we are teaching the right way. So now I have to iron like so with 0.5, iron again on the other side with 0.5 or more. Just you know what you're trying to achieve. So when I'm done doing this ironing like so, I'm going to trim off some excess, okay? So that because I need my folding to come out well. So if I don't want it too bulky, so I took out like 0.3 or 0.2, about that's what I took out there. So when I'm done with this, the next thing I'm going with will be the hemming gum, okay? Because we need it solid and flat to work with. So now I am going to use my hemming gum to put in the middle, then iron before I will now fold. You know the hemming gum is 1 inch, right? This particular one. So you need enough to cover it so that if it doesn't cover it, your iron is going to stick to it and it's going to damage your fabric, especially if you're working with white fabric. So you need to keep that in mind. So now I'm just going to iron like so. And I'll fold again. Same and iron. Please make sure you cut this in bias form. I'm saying in bias form because when you're sewing it on the neckline, you need it to curve freely. Okay? If you cut it on a straight form, on a straight line, you will not achieve it. Your neckline will be standing. Okay? So you iron very well. If you have tailor's clamp, when you iron, you put it on it so it will hold it. I don't. So you're supposed to even iron it like the shape you want it to go. So it will give you that curve already while ironing. Like, I was trying to do it. You can see me trying to curve it, but I don't have tailor's lamp to hold it down when I move the next one and hold it. So it's still coming out straight. But nonetheless, I achieved what I wanted with it. So now I'm going to notch the point where my sleeve is ending right now and iron to give it a crease line so I will know where I'm working with. Then I was only trying to utilize the light, you get? So I iron this other part again. Then I'll fold with hemming gum because when you're making signage dress, you need light, you need to iron very well. Every process needs to be ironed. As in, that's the beauty, that's where the magic takes place. So now I'm going to fold this again and iron. I am not a fan of saying hemming gun for neat finishing. No, there's nothing neat about it. Okay, because when you finish making that clothes, you give it to the client after each time they wash. If they don't use dry cleaner for their this thing, they will need hemming gun to hem that part every time they wash. Or sometimes maybe they don't have lights to iron, they can't wear that cloth because the hem is going to go off except you iron it. So I'm not a fan of saying hemming gun gives neat finishing. I'm only doing this for the structure of it. When I'm done, I'm still going to match it straight. I'm going to hem it, okay? So it's just for the structure. Repeat the same process on this other side. So now I'm going to mark the slit opening of the upper body. That's the dress himself, the top himself. There is a slit. If you remember when you're watching the video, you saw where the lady was putting her hands in her pockets, right? There's an opening there for the dress where she could now slant her hand into the pocket. So that is where what I am marking here. I did 8 and I went in by 1 because my sewing is going to stop by 1. So I'm just going to connect it straight down and I will notch that part. I think I didn't show it, but this is what I was trying to do. Notch that part before I head to the machine to sew. I just want everything to align perfectly so that I don't stress myself when I'm sewing. Okay. So I will notch the edge there. Like I said, the video did show that point you're seeing. I'll go to fold the fabric into 4 and notch it. Okay. I thought it went off when I was editing. I got it back. So I notched. So now we're about to sew. I'm going to open the back now. And you can see, I want to show you, see that back is not looking round enough. So I have to like make it, just pinch out a little, not much, you see. So that when you open it, we'll have this round, even shape, okay? So I'm going to place the back to the front like so, and I'll sew with 0.5. Then this other side, the side you're going to put the zip, it might be the left side or the right side. You are going to sew in with 1 inch and leave the rest open because you're going to insert the zip. So now that I'm done, I've ironed it. All I need to do now is to make sure my neckline is equal, then measure round. So I felt if this is a male dress, it would have been okay for the neckline given the size of the person. But I felt as a woman, it needs to be more free, a little bit open. You know, sometimes we make our hair are full, even with the zip opening, we struggle like Nigerians, we wear braids a lot, struggle to fit in our hairs because the hair is very full. So I just decided to like give it a little deepening, okay? A client saw this on the client I made this. I made for a church member, and she said she wants it, but she doesn't even want her neck to be as open as it. If you look at the beginning of the video, you see that the neck is not all that open, like it's still very close, but she said she wants hers. So people have different preference, but I thought to myself that if she's wearing full hair, full braid, it might be difficult to slot her head even if there's zip. So I decided to do the opening like that. So I'm done with the piping. And this is what we have. You're going to, when you're piping it, you're going to just put it, you sew on, you make sure the neck is entering the edge of the crease line inside the piping, then you match. And please I want to point out, don't drag it when you're matching. Then for you to get your sleeve center front, you need to make sure your sleeves are equal, draw it to meet the one at the back. Then that crease line there, that is where your middle point is. Yes, don't be scared, that is how it's done. Okay, this like so, you see what I'm doing. Make sure that then this middle point, this is where you will now notch. That's your middle point, not where the same sewing is, please. Okay, now you're going to the notch part of your arm there, you're going to place it in that notch, that place you just notch. Then you sew your sleeve. Okay, if you're a beginner, you need to secure with pin. I like securing my sleeve with pin because some place it looks bulky sometimes. You just so you don't have. This is what I have after ironing. I fixed the zip. It's an invisible zip. I use my invisible foot to fix my invisible zip, okay, because I have a domestic machine. That's what I work with, and a manual machine. So I usually do my invisible zip sewing on my domestic machine. So now this is for the hemline. You see, that's where my marking stopped. I have actually ironed, but I just want to show you. I could have done this off camera and said hem, okay, but I just want to show you all the process. For structure, I'm using hemming gun. You see now that I've done the sleeve, you see the structure is given. This helps you the dress stand, okay? That's the beauty of snatch dress. You need hemming gun, you need light when sewing snatch dress. It cannot be overemphasized. So now I'm going to iron it. folded it 1 inch and I fold again. The 1 inch is the one that will be on top of the hemming gum, you can see. So I'm ironing. Just use your hemming allowance you kept to do the work, okay? I used 2 inch hemming. I left 2 inch allowance for it, or 2.5, okay? So use your hemming allowance for it. So I'll iron. Like I said, I am not a fan of saying use hemming gum for finishing. No, I will still match it on the machine or use hand to tack it, because even my own clothes, I've experienced it. You use hemming gum, after a while you're wearing the dress, the hemline is popping up like this because maybe you didn't iron, or the overwashing of this thing, the hem has gone off. So if you use hem finishing, always advise your clients to always have hemming gum at home. When they want to iron the clothes, they should add hemming gum back there. That's just it. So because in this part of the world we don't really have the accurate original one. I think there is one that stays longer, but this one I'm using does not stay longer. So now that this is done, I just want to cross check my if I've gotten the real measurement, which is 28. That was the real measurement, and that's the place I notched, right? The place I notched that time for opening. So that's where my seam is going to end. My sewing is going to end. I'm saying I'm going to go to the machine to top stitch there, which I did off. I'm going to do that when I leave this scene now. So I'm just going to measure in 1 inch. I'll sew 1 inch down to where that slit will stop. I'll do for the other side. Now I am done and I've ironed it. I want to show you what I did with the slit. So for the slit, I have also gone ahead to use hemming gum to hem there. Okay. Then I'm just going to mark where the seam, where the sewing is going. I want to do like something like a V sewing at the end. At the end there. So I'll mark 2 inch upward from the slit ending there. I mark 2 inch upward. So from the side, I'll measure 1 inch on this side. I gauging it, but it's 1 inch. I later cross check to see if it's accurate. The one that was not accurate, I readjusted it. So I'm just going to do that again to the other side. 1 inch, 1 inch to the other side. So I am almost done. I'll repeat it on the other side. Please, is this your first time of seeing our video? If you like what you see, please kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time we upload new videos. And yeah, make sure to like, share, and leave a comment. If you try this out, help us to send a video. I'll take to the machine and iron. When I iron, the chalk is going to go off. And thank you for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.